All right, so if you guys saw last week's video, you know it wasn't like what they call a banger of a video, right? And I say that because, well, it's just how I feel. But it perfectly sets us up for this week's Tuesday morning tech tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. Yeah, guys. So for a video that literally took over a month to record, 17 minutes of footage, and really like one thing accomplished is way below par, right? Like, well, should I say that's probably the reason that there's a lot of unfinished projects around here. It's things like that, right? And these things happen, right? Sometimes we say life happens, it's the way she goes. Whatever analogy you want to use, it is what it is. There's another one for you. But seriously, it didn't work out the way we wanted to. The last month has kind of been, a thing. So, I don't want to say I rushed through anything, but I've been skipping videos, and I don't want to keep doing that because there's like, 5 or 6 of you guys that are really looking forward to seeing them. So, we wanted to get something out, and we did have something that we really wanted to accomplish, and it was the smallest thing, guys, right? The smallest, insignificant, couple-minute repair, but it made a world of difference to me. And, that's sometimes you got that, right? It doesn't have to be this, like, earth-shattering progress. Sometimes just a little bit, boosts your spirits a little bit, keeps you going, gets you going to the next goal, the next little checkpoint or whatever. And sometimes that's what you need to just, get out there, man. I mean, I'm kind of saying the same thing. I'm already getting dizzy. We're going to sit down and talk about it. And I'm probably going to steal some quotes. Guys, there's a lot of really famous quotes out there that are just solid advice, right? I mean, a lot of people live by that, and I get it, man, because it makes sense, right? Famous people, infamous, whatever you want to call it, they put some information out there, made it, oh man, so you feel it, right? One of my favorites is from a fictional character, as a lot of them might be, right? But doesn't mean it's not from the heart.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
No. Mm-mm. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
So, you guys see that on the wall back there. I actually have that. And it helps you, right? It helps you keep moving forward. There's another one that is kind of what I was thinking while I was making that video last week. And it comes straight from our buddy Dan.
Dan here, DD Speed Shop.
So, he's made a ton of videos. I have watched every single one of them. And he said a lot of times over the years, get out in the garage and do one thing a day. That's it, right? One thing a day. I'm 100% stealing that quote from him because it works, guys. So, you guys know, like I said, we had some setbacks and we were having a hard time getting back into the groove that we were in. So I started making that video and I'm like, man, I got to finish it. So I actually came down here, did the wiring on the inside, mounted that switch permanently, got that all set up. Didn't record any of it because I just wanted to get it done, right? And I came down here, I did that one thing and that worked. Okay, cool. That set up, I feel better about it. I'm not starting the truck from under the hood anymore. Solid, right? So, we had that problem with the wire under the hood. And that just popped up, right? Everything was working fine, and then it wasn't. I mean, that's just how wiring is, right? Nothing happened under there. Nobody did anything crazy. It was just kind of hanging on by a thread, and that thread broke. Or kind of broke, because then it gets all ghostly, right? That's another thing with wiring. So it did take me a little while to figure out where that break was in the wire. I'm not an electrician. I've said that a ton of times. But I just started tracing wires. And I'm looking at bundles and trying to figure out what goes where. And, you know, luckily this is kind of primitive, you know, the square body stuff. This made it a little bit more difficult because there's a lot of wires not being used anymore with that electronic fuel injection being out of the picture. So we finally found the wire. And I was, like I said, that's how I tested it. When I figured, okay, something just broke. Listening for the buzz. And then there was my very crude troubleshooting. I showed you that. Couple things, guys. Number one, the number one rule when you're troubleshooting electricity, and I found this out when I was 8 years old, helping my old man wire up a ceiling fan at my grandfather's house, and disconnect power. All right, he taught me that lesson, made me hold the wires together, got a little shock. Apparently I liked it because I totally forget to do it all the time. I didn't disconnect the battery. I didn't show you this in the video, but when I disconnected the wiring to fix that splice, the other wire that was coming straight from the hot on the alternator, which had a direct lead to the battery, started arcing like crazy when it hit the carburetor. So, disconnect the battery. Safety first. See, that's the problem. I always get that one wrong. But, yeah, so there was that. Probably should have recorded it, but yeah, what are you going to do? So then another little tech tip. You're going to learn a lot of little nuggets of information, I think, in this video. Make sure your equipment's working good. Like in aviation, especially in the military and stuff, we do pre-ops, make sure that the gear we're working is working right before we touch, put on the aircraft. I totally threw that out of the window. And my battery was going in and out on my test, on my what do you call that thing? Meter. So, not to worry, I still didn't change the batteries. So we'll probably run into that again. But all that aside, we fixed the wire, made sure that was where the problem was. Well, first we made sure that's where the problem was. Then we fixed the wire, and now we're good to go. So one day I came down here, took care of the inside. It took maybe half hour, 45 minutes. I think I was down here an hour and some change because I did record it, and that takes a little longer. And knocked out that wiring. So about to jump back in now and fix the rest of the stuff because I had a little more free time open up. And I actually might have the time to do more than I want to. So hopefully I accomplish more than one thing right now. But as long as I'm getting that one thing accomplished, I'm making progress, right? So, and it's that one little tidbit of progress can be just a moneymaker for other stuff down the road. For example, we just fixed that wire, right? So before I had to get it, mess with it to try and get it to start. Then I could move it out of here if I want to mess with something else. Well, the kid's caddy's sitting outside. He had some issues, brake issues again. Not where I already fixed, so that's good to go. He's got a brake line issue in the front of the car. We got to figure out where it is. With all the cowlings and all that crap underneath there, you can't figure out where stuff's coming from. So I need to pull it in here, take some stuff apart, and figure it out. Well, if this thing's running, which it is now, I can just jump in it, pull it out, pull the caddy in, get after it. And I can figure out what's wrong with that? It might be a quick fix. We might be back on the road in 5 minutes, and then I'll really feel like a jackass because it's been sitting outside the whole summer, basically. Hasn't been a huge deal because he's been running around in Megan's Camry, but luckily, Megan's getting towards the end of her recovery with her foot injury there. She's going to be driving again pretty soon. He's going to be booted out of the Camry, and it'd be nice if he had his car because, well, he loves it. So that one little thing can help us along for 2 major milestones. So yeah, one thing a day, guys. Thanks, Dan, because that's an awesome bit of information. I'm going to do at least my one thing for today. Thanks for watching, guys.